The AE Mackintosh Exterior Cleaning Podcast.
The original podcast for exterior cleaning.
This is it. Here we are.
Exterior Cleaning Podcast.
So welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining me. And it's good to be back here on the podcast doing interviews as well. I'd love to hear from any of you guys out there. If you've benefited from the podcast, if you've enjoyed watching any of my videos, I'd love to hear from you guys out there. It's great to hear stories from people who have started up businesses, or they've wanted to change their lifestyle in some way from being employed to self-employed, having a more flexible lifestyle, doing that, whether that's window cleaning or other exterior cleaning business in some way. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I've got a great example of that with me here today. It's a partnership. It's the first time ever I'm having two people on the podcast at once.
So I'm Josh, and I'm co-partner of See It Clean, and
I'm Phil from See It Clean. Josh and I work together. We're 50-50 business partners, and we run an exterior cleaning company in Aylesbury.
So thanks for joining me today, Phil and Josh, and thanks for making the journey and coming all this way to meet me here in the van today.
Yeah, snug, tight, it's warm.
It is the warmest day we've had for ages. It's been so wet recently, isn't it?
Yeah, it has, most definitely.
The worst summer I think we've had ever.
Yeah, for one that we can remember, yeah, most definitely.
So it's quite warm today, so we're here in the van anyway. We'll try not to go on too long, or I'll try not to talk too much. I'll let you guys do the talking.
Okay. Cool.
Don't worry, Phil's got us covered on that.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been in business now?
So September will be 2 years, but we actually joined forces in June 2022. Was it last year? June last year. Yeah, so June 2022. So together, just over a year.
Yeah.
See It Clean as a business is September this year will be 2 years old.
Wow. Okay. And things are going well, I hear.
Yeah. We've got 3 vans on the road. We've got 2 permanent PAYE employees. About 850 regular window cleaning customers as well, which is good. Plus Josh's dad works a couple of days with us part time, just to help out when we need to.
Subcontractor basis, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So in quite a short space of time, you've really grown things.
Yeah.
And it's done really well. Love to talk more about exactly how you run things as well, but first of all, just to get some background on your story really, and how you've come to find out about window cleaning as a business. What were you guys doing before? Who wants to go first?
So I guess for me, for full background, when I first left school at the age of around 15, 16, I worked for a family friend who had a window cleaning business. And that's where I kind of got my first taste of window cleaning. I did it on and off for 4 or 5 years, and then from there I went and tried various different jobs. Ended up in a sales role for a couple of different car manufacturers, and through doing so actually is how me and Phil met. And from there I kind of just fell out of love of that sales role and wanted to go back to window cleaning, do something for myself.
Yeah.
And that's how I ultimately ended up back in window cleaning after missing it out for a period of time.
So being tied into an employment role, which was quite demanding, even on the weekends.
It was, yeah.
Your time.
It was sometimes 7 days a week. I think I probably worked a month at one stage without a day off in that job. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing with the motor trade is that when you got to think of it like, when everyone else is off work, you're at work, because that's when your biggest opportunity to sell cars.
Yeah.
So weekends are a must.
Yeah.
The summer holidays, if people are off, then that's when they're going to come buy a car.
Right.
Previously, you obviously used to have the registrations were March and September, so there was really big months.
Yeah.
So in the September or August, you couldn't have time off because that was your biggest opportunity to take new car orders.
Yeah.
So you were kind of restricted to when you could or couldn't have time off.
Yeah. When everyone else is off, you need to be there.
Yeah.
And you were in the motor trade as well, weren't you?
Yeah. So we met together at a Citroen dealership in Watford, and then Josh went on to another garage, and we kind of lost touch, but we lived in the same town. And like I said, when I started, I've been doing it a few months, and then obviously that's when Josh wanted to get back into it, decided he was going to do it, found out that I was doing it, and then a couple of months went by of us working together and collaborating on some jobs, and then we just decided to go in together, because what's the point of us competing for the same customers? We might as well join forces and work together, basically.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was we were like tagging ourselves on the same posts on like the Facebook groups where they're like, I'm looking for a window cleaner, and it was like my name, Phil's name, and
so you're competing with each other.
we were.
But in the end, you decided to join forces.
Yeah. I think we actually even went and quoted the same customers at times, didn't we? And
and sometimes you were a little bit cheaper.
Undercut him. Like, all right, Phil, what did you price this customer at? All right, just go a quid cheaper. Yeah.
And he's still a customer today, though.
I think so. Yeah, he is
still a customer.
Well, there you go. That's such a change. That's so refreshing to hear, actually, because you hear about like old school window cleaners who are so territorial.
Get off my patch.
Yeah, but you guys teamed up and made it work together as a partnership. That's so good. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that we've tried to do is be friendly with other window cleaners. So we've tried to build rapport with those guys, and we've tried to offer them opportunities and vice versa. And I think that if you give someone an opportunity, they will give you opportunities back, and that's most definitely happened for us. And we've built up a good network of exterior cleaners and window cleaners in Aylesbury, of people that only want to do window cleaning, and the add-on services they're not bothered about, so they pass to us. And that's only because we've built that rapport with them and built that relationship.
That's really good, isn't it? That can definitely benefit a business, just to have that local friendly attitude towards it. And
we're thinking about organising it was actually one of the guys had said, at being a window cleaner, the Christmas party on his own is quite boring. So he asked us, he said, if you guys organise something
for all the local window cleaners, do a Christmas party or
organise
or
it, get everyone together
or something like that.
So we've been talking about doing something towards Christmas and just get a couple of people together and just go out for some food and a drink.
That's great.
I think something that is quite interesting, where you touched on there about collaborating with another window cleaner, is something that both me and Phil agreed on early on, was that actually if we were just solo, we'd probably settle for 35-40 grand a year and be quite lazy, but by combining has really pushed us to push on and add that extra job that day and do that extra clean and by doing that on our own we'd never be where we're at,
most definitely,
without working together.
That's good. So that motivation is because you're a partnership that helps motivate each other.
Definitely. Those days that it's raining, it's cold, you don't want to get out of bed, and you're like, do you know what, I might just cancel today. The other person, they'll just turn around and be like, no, do you know what, we need to go and earn that money today. And it's really pushed us on.
And that person is Josh. I'm the lazy one.
Oh, okay.
I'm the one like, it's raining, let's stay at home. And Josh is like, no, we need to go. So I'm like, okay, let's go.
Okay, well that's great.
Someone's got it.
So Phil, tell us then how you first kind of came across window cleaning, or how you came about window cleaning as an idea for a business. You wanted to get out of what you were doing.
So in the motor trade, I just kind of had enough. I was commuting an hour a day, wasn't really spending enough time with my family, and I wanted to find a traditional business that's been around for a long time, that will always be around. And I went to YouTube and I had an idea of just doing pressure washing, and I came across your video, the one where you're showing the backpack and you're saying your father-in-law used it, and I was like, wow, that's actually like a really good way of doing it. It's regular income. It's pretty straightforward. There's no huge initial investment cost to get started, and then I just got fully immersed into your videos, and it kind of went from there, really.
Awesome.
But obviously it's the window cleaning was always the core part of our business. We always wanted that to be the main element, because it is regular. Sometimes it's easy to get distracted by add-on services, pressure washing, roof cleaning and soft washing and all that, but we kind of just decided that go for window cleaning and try and build a consistent regular income, and then you don't have to keep looking for more work every day.
So you came to it with a little bit of money behind you.
Yes,
from what you were doing before.
So we both had some money behind us, and so we decided to fully commit. It was actually my girlfriend or fiance. She actually said, look, if you're going to do it, just do it properly, buy a van, buy the proper equipment, because I think if you go in something half-hearted, it's easy to give up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've put money into it, you've committed to it, it's harder to fail, and you can only fail if you give up.
Yeah.
If you keep going, you'll get setbacks, but if you keep going, you'll always keep growing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just one of those things. I think you just need to keep pushing forward. Like Josh says, if it's a rainy day outside, if you're on your own, it is really tough to get motivated and self-motivated to push yourself.
Yeah.
Which is why I think we work well together, because we bounce off of each other and push each other, and we're not afraid to pull each other up if the other one's messing around, or do you know what I mean? It's
definitely
keeps each other accountable.
That's good. And so you had some sales experience and some business experience from your job before, I suppose. Do you think that helped?
Yeah, most definitely. I think we always went into it with the mindset that we wanted to be different, and how could we be different? And our kind of mindset was that we would use our existing skill set of sales to be able to effectively communicate to people and be trustworthy and honest to what we're going to do. And I think in the motor trade, notoriously, car salesmen are just as bad as estate agents. Everyone has this stigma around us.
This reputation, yeah.
So throughout, when you're in that industry, you have to kind of go above and beyond to prove that that's not who you are, and you're not the stereotype. And I think we tried to portray that across within window cleaning to our customers and so on.
So that led to you having quite a professional approach, would you say, straight from the beginning?
Yeah, 100%.
When you say you wanted to do things properly and do things right, that was part of it?
Yeah, most definitely. We didn't want to be, Phil and Josh window cleaning. We wanted to create a brand. We wanted to what I most definitely did, I wanted to create a brand, I wanted to create a reputation, and I wanted to build a business that I could employ people that could, help fund their lives, and that was always the main aim. It was never just for me to go out and do it all on my own. It was always to build a team around me, because that was the part that I enjoyed the most, is helping other people to learn how to do it and benefit from that experience.
And you even saying that, it's been a bit of a learning curve, would you say, like with your setup and your equipment and things like that? You've changed things as you've gone along, haven't you? Yeah,
most definitely. So obviously, as I said, the first video we watched of yours was with I think it was the gardener backpack, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
So I went to Window Cleaning Warehouse and I bought the big boy backpack and some barrels off of eBay, and I went along and bought a Volkswagen Caddy, because I was trying to be the next Ashley Mackintosh. Bought a Caddy, some barrels and a backpack, and quickly realised that after my first job, it took me about an hour, and lifting barrels was pretty heavy. So I went along and then bought a tank and decided that I would use the water tank to filter the water into the barrel, into the backpack, and then after a few more videos, realised actually you could build a DIY pump box system, and so I bought all the parts and my father-in-law put it together. And then so I was running it off of that with the hose reel, and then as we've evolved, we've now got proper van mounted systems with twin users and twin stack hose reels and that kind of stuff. So
well, I think that's great though, that it's a good example of how you can get a business going. The branding and professionalism is a big part of it. And the equipment, you can, if you've got a little bit of practical ability, the equipment can be put together. It's relatively straightforward to buy the separate components that you need and get it going from there. It's not that.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I'm not very technical minded, hence the reason my father-in-law did it for me. But yeah, now I understand it. It is straightforward. It's just, you just have to get over that, the initial nervousness of exposing yourself to having to learn new things, really. And I think that's probably one of the biggest key takeaways, is that we're always learning. Every day is a school day. We're always, whatever it is, whether it be with customer, an employee, some software, the accountant, we're always learning something new. Every day.
So picking up work from the beginning, did you have kind of a strategy that you were going to follow for that to try and get work? You've done it a few different ways, I think.
So when I first started, it was just like posting in Facebook groups, and I started using Bark as a lead generation source, which I still today stand by, and I think it's a really good system, because it's really cost effective and you don't have to commit to £50, £100 a month, whatever. You can decide what you want to do. and I know Bark has a little bit of a bad reputation within the window cleaning groups.
Well, I don't know, because with any of these advertising methods, different things work for different people in different areas.
Yeah, of course.
So if there's people in your area who are using it and you can use it to your advantage, then that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, other places it might not work for someone so well.
Yeah.
That's the thing with advertising. There's no one thing that you can say is going to work for everyone.
No.
You just kind of have to experiment a
And
little
find out
bit
what works for you.
Yeah.
I think Bark definitely, for us, is very similar to our background in sales, because in sales you would get an inquiry come to your email and then you're responsible for calling them as soon as possible. And with Bark, you pay for the lead and then you get the details, and then it's then down to you to contact them in the most effective method.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we're able to do very well, whereas somebody with no sales experience, they might then struggle with that next step of how do I contact them, how do I actually get that person to answer the phone or reply back to me.
It's about taking the customer down the journey,
It
isn't
is,
it?
yeah. It's the sales journey for the customer ultimately.
And I love the idea of speaking with customers and dealing with them face to face if possible.
Yeah.
People buy from people,
Yeah,
they say,
most
don't
definitely.
and that, even with all the technology we have now, that's still it at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that worked well for you guys anyway.
Yeah.
That's really great.
Yeah, it did. And then, so that was kind of my process that I would just do, and then so Facebook, posting in groups, Bark, and then I would do leaflets as well. That was kind of how I started.
Yeah.
But Josh had a different idea. He had a different approach.
Yeah, I did. So for me, obviously, I was still in employment, whereas for you at the time that you started, you weren't in a full-time job, whereas I was still in a full-time job when I started.
Yeah.
Initially, I was building up my customers using Bark and Facebook groups, and I was doing the work on my day off. But when I decided that actually no, I want to leave my job, I didn't want to take the full risk of having no work there to actually sort of sustain my mortgage payments, for example. So I actually paid for a canvasser. I used Kingdom Canvassing and arranged for them to come and do some canvassing work. And I kind of lined up the date with when I'd planned to move house, because that was, I think, I was moving house at the time. My idea was I was going to move house, and Kingdom Canvassing would have given me kind of like a bread and butter for me to leave my job, move house, and then be able to start with that canvassing work and my current regular customers that I picked up. I think at the time that I actually left my job, I had about 25 regular customers, which isn't a lot at all to leave your job into. And I think the canvassing company, they picked me up about another 70 jobs or so through doing so.
Oh, good.
But yeah, it's a different way of starting, obviously.
So you were telling me earlier that you were literally in your job selling cars and then taking calls for like window cleaning customers as well.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't go
Juggling
down
all
too well
those
with
two
my
things.
employers, to be honest, because obviously I think they quite often found me at the bottom of the car park, kind of out the way, sort of hiding behind a car on the phone to a customer, taking down their details, arranging for me to go and give them a quote or come and clean their property. Basically the way that I would do it, the best way to do it is to sell the appointment, go and meet the customer, and close the job there and get the job to carry out the cleaning. However, for me, it wasn't necessarily easy because I wasn't finishing work until like gone 6 o'clock. And then obviously I want to be able to go home to my family. So what I was doing is I was using Google Maps. I was getting the address from the customer, finding the property on Google, or if you go onto some of the other house selling sites, you can see if the property was sold in the last 10 years roughly. There's normally photographs of it. So I'd use those photographs to enable me to then quote the customer, and then I'd be able to book them in for my next day off, and I'd go and carry out the cleaning on my day off. But yeah, my employers caught onto it, and they noticed that my sales figures at work had dropped drastically, and I was selling more window cleaning appointments than cars, unfortunately, for my employer. So yeah.
Well, I hear about this quite a lot, and I've interviewed other people as well who are in jobs and they go maybe part-time and they're juggling a window cleaning round and trying to build that up before they leave their job. So, and that was one thing that you wanted to do, was get more flexibility and time with your family. You just mentioned
I had a newborn son, and for me,
you've got a lot going on, haven't you, by the sound of it, at this time?
Yeah, at this time, honestly, I was moving house, my son had just been born, and I was working long hours in the motor trade, and my fiance, she didn't particularly like it at the time, but I was working my day off cleaning windows, so the only day I actually had at home was a Sunday, because I decided that wasn't a day I was going to spend working. However, I was literally working full time on my day off, was cleaning windows, and it was a stressful time, to be honest, in my life. It really was. I mean, Phil can even say, I I know that when we were working together, I was pulling my hair out at times, you know, dealing with solicitors on the move and trying to clean windows and worrying about my job. And at the time, you know, things weren't going well with my employment, because they were going through a transition and they got taken over by a different company, and that new company was tracking everything you were doing. Like, they would track if you were going to the toilet, like they knew everything, honestly.
Okay.
And yeah, they could see that my minutes on the phone was not very high, my appointments, my sales, everything was down. And yeah, I was under pressure from them, and you know, I was really keen to make the window cleaning work, and I think
but that's also a testament to your mindset and dedication, because you knew you didn't want to be there. You were working your day off to clean windows, to sacrifice time with your family for the hope that further down the line you'll have more time.
Yeah, for sure.
You were moving house, and moving house is stressful enough, let alone going from being employed to self-employed with a mortgage is difficult in itself.
Definitely.
And I think, actually, upon reflection, listening to you hear that, you know, talk about it, it is a testament to your mindset, because I probably would have given up loads of times throughout that process.
No, definitely. I knew what I wanted, definitely, you know.
And your family, I mean, for me, in my experience, family's always a motivation as well, isn't it, to look after your family? And if there's a lot of that's your focus, is it?
It definitely was my motivation at the time to really have that freedom, because again, going back to the motor industry, there is kind of only one way to that element of freedom, and typically you don't get to that level until you're about 50 years old. And you know, I'm a long way off 50 at the moment, and I wasn't going to have that freedom of working shorter hours and flexibility that, you know, this job definitely gives you. So much flexibility.
And then all of this happened kind of during COVID, basically. Then that was a time
just after, I think.
It was the September of 2020 that I started. And then it was like the February 2021 that Josh started his window cleaning.
Right. So I think you said, Phil, that COVID time was a real time of reflection for you to make that change, and that's part of what.
So I've got two children as well. I say as well, you've only got one, but I've got two children, and obviously having time at home. And throughout COVID, you know, a lot of things happened, and a lot of bad came out of it, and a lot of good came out of it. And it just made me think slightly differently about everything, about what I want to do, how does my life want to be, it enabled COVID enabled me the time to reflect and decide what to do and how it was going to be, and, you know, get working on our future self, really.
So fast forward then, a couple of years on now, are you glad you did it?
100%.
No regrets.
Yeah, maybe some, but no.
And so you've grown things really well. I don't know if you're happy to say any kind of figures. Your window cleaning round now, how many customers you have, what your sort of turnover tends to be like.
So customers, we're sitting somewhere between 850 and just under 900. It fluctuates a little bit because obviously we're adding, we have people drop off.
We're seeing quite a big drop off at the moment.
We have, I think
people asking to extend, either go from say 6 to 12 weeks, or 8 weeks, or just cancelling altogether. And it is coming down to costs. I think of that is playing a big part.
People worrying about the finances. And
so it does fluctuate, but it's around that sort of figure.
We've managed to maintain our projected annual turnover at around 185,000. So even when we're getting somebody drop and somebody add, we've managed to kind of hold that number. Obviously it is a projected turnover because we haven't yet done that full year, but you can always see that with your regular round, what you're projected to carry out.
So that's pretty good going in that space of time, kind of. You both run 2-man systems, van each on 2-man systems. Then you have another guy on a smaller van with a 1-man system. And things are still growing.
I mean, something to probably note: we haven't got to 850 customers by organic.
Correct.
So we've done the canvassing. We run Google ads at the moment. We still run those now. we had turned them off because we didn't need to have them on, and we bought 2 rounds from two window cleaners that decided to retire from it. So yeah, we bought one in October last year. I think it was about 200 odd customers, and then we bought one again another one in February, which was both of them were unexpected. We didn't plan to do that. That was just the way it happened.
There were people locally who just happened to be selling, and it was just an opportunity.
It was just
took advantage.
Right time, and we just took advantage of it. So yeah, probably 600 of those customers we've bought theoretically from buying other people's rounds, but we've maintained the customers. We've not lost a huge amount. We've added to them. And those ones we've sold other additional services to as well, which has obviously just helped increase the income into the business. We are on Checker Trade, but at the moment we only pay for the basic level, so we don't get advertising through them. But we did in January we decided to pay for the advertising subscription, but we found that was really useful as well for generating like gutter clearing leads and that kind of thing. We don't use it for window cleaning because it's just the cost of it versus the return on the window cleaning cost is not really worth it. So we do it for higher priced jobs basically. Is what we would use that for. So the mix of advertising, have you over the time experimented with that then, and you feel like you've got a combination of advertising that's working for you? Is that so we have a really I think it's a really good online lead presence where we run the Google ads that goes to our website, and it's done automated, so all we do effectively is just turn on the Google ads and then it comes through. So last month we turned it on in July, and the return, we looked at it today, was about 51% return on investment. So the money we'd put in, what we had generated from those customers from day one, it was about 51% as a return. Plus obviously some of those customers are regular, so we'll see an infinite return on that investment anyway. But as long as ideally we want to break even on those costs.
The way that we looked at it was, you're going to get your one-off cleans come through Google, and you're going to get your regular customers. Now although you definitely do get a lot of one-off cleans come through Google, the ones that come on and go regular, your ad spend, you might break even on that first clean, but actually then they're going to stay with you for the next 2, 3, 4 years, and that's where you're making the real return on it. So even though we're saying 51%, that's just from the initial one-off cleans. Actually it'll be far more than that by the time they've stuck with you for 2 years.
An interesting idea that I sometimes think about is what makes the difference between someone going from a one-man business who they're kind of doing odd jobs for people and taking that and turning it into a proper business that's growing and has that growth. What's the difference between those two things? I mean, you guys seem really across the numbers. Is that a big part of it, would you say?
Yeah, most definitely. You need to know how much it costs to acquire a lead, how much does it cost to acquire a customer. Just as an example, on those numbers that were, and I only know them off the top of my head because we looked at it this morning, the lead, it cost us £8 to generate the lead. Well, that doesn't mean that we're going to make any money on that, because we have to contact the customer, we have to go and quote them, we have to close them, we have to do the job, and then we have to get paid. But we know it cost us roughly £8 to acquire a lead, and we know based on last month's figures, most definitely on average it cost us £22.41 to get a customer. So as long as that's one job, that one-off job, as long as that, the net cost of that's £22, we can then work out, okay, if that's a one-off clean, it needs to be £45, otherwise there's no point us doing it. But when we go there, that then gives us the opportunity, like Josh said, to meet the customer, build rapport. Then when you're looking at the windows, you subconsciously look at the gutters, and then you might make a comment about the gutter need clearing, and then that could then lead on to, from say a £40 job to a £100 job. So I think there's most definitely knowing the numbers is key. Especially when you're employing people, you need to know the cost to run that van per day. How many jobs do they need to do? Can they get through all that work efficiently without customers calling up and saying, you've missed a window or there's spots? It's definitely, when you start, you think, it's window cleaning, it's easy, but actually as you grow, there's a lot more to it.
I've worked with some companies now all over the UK. It's a massive difference between getting training with someone who is a brand who sells equipment and getting training with someone who's got years of experience on the tools, using different tools and equipment, trial and error within their own business. I feel like I've got so much more value to share with someone. I actually help people to understand tools and equipment and how to understand the power coming from a pressure washer, how that's applied to different surfaces depending on the job that they're doing. So understanding when and where to use different tools and equipment, when and where to use different types of chemicals. That's what I love to help people to do. We are now working to get the online courses certified as well. I'm the only independent CPD training provider in the UK for exterior cleaning. So I'm not going to be trying to sell you anything. I literally just want to help you in your business and help you get off to the best possible start in your business. From your backgrounds, it comes from there really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so, but also if you're not analytical initially on yourself starting up, then how do you know where you can improve to grow? That's the first thing. You need to really look at what you're doing and where improvements can be made, because if you're not looking at doing that, then you're never gonna get past where you're at really.
And I guess from the motor trade perspective, you're always micromanaged and you always have to know your numbers.
Okay.
So it's like if you've seen 10 customers, you need to have test driven 8 of them, and if you test drive 8 people, you'll sell 5 cars.
Okay.
Like if you're an average kind of salesperson.
Yeah.
And so I think from our experience, those numbers and knowing that those ratios have always been drummed into us.
Yeah.
So we know if we generate 10 leads, if we speak to 10 of them, or we try and contact 10, we might actually speak to 8, and out of those 8, 5 might buy.
Yeah.
We know the ratio, so we know, okay, especially with Google Ads, it's then a marketing machine.
Yeah.
If I put £100 in, I know I'm going to get out £200. Okay, so if I put £200 in, can I get 400?
Yeah.
And so on, and then you feel confident in doing that.
Yeah.
Something that I see on Facebook quite a lot is where window cleaners or other sole traders use Facebook ads to advertise their business, but instantly most people go, Facebook ads don't work for my business. And what they're actually saying is they don't know how to use Facebook. So you see, you might get a Facebook ad for a window cleaner, but they're in Scotland. And it's because they've not set it up correctly, but they see it as, well, I've spent £40 and I've got nothing. But it's because they've set the wrong targeting to their profile.
Really,
and that's something that we've learned. We've took the time to learn how to use Google Ads and so on. So and actually during lockdown, I took a course with Google that I think was like 36 hours on basic of marketing. Because obviously to be able to grow your business, you need to be able to market and get more customers. And if you can't get that right, then you've got nothing to clean, which means you don't earn any money. But then if you get that right, you then need the second half, which is the operational side of the business, which is organising the diary, sending people to go and clean. So there's 2 sides, and I think that's why we work well together, because Josh kind of looks after the operational sides and I kind of look after the marketing and that kind of element to it.
We always kind of joke because I'm all about the here and now, what's happening maybe today, next week, next month, whereas Phil's talking about what we're doing in 3 years. And I'm like, I don't care what we're doing in 3 years, let's just worry about getting through what the next month is saying. So and it does work well from that perspective, because I don't necessarily think that far ahead. I think I definitely focus on what's going on now, whereas you like to dream a bit more about the future, don't you?
Where's it heading in the future then, Phil? Where's it?
Well, I mean, for us, it's it's to build a business. I don't know how many vans. I don't know what that looks like necessarily. But something we've come across recently is the supplies market, whether that be a small supply shop for local people, because I think if anyone that's, even if they're in Milton Keynes and they're half an hour away from us, if they know they can come and buy something, a part that they need, they can get back on their day, and they might lose 1 or 2 jobs. They're not going to lose 2 days worth of work. So that's something that we've been talking about, but I think we're probably a year away before even going any further with that. But we've looked at some basic numbers of stuff, and we like the idea of it. I just think we're not quite ready to take on that challenge.
I think
that's a
sounds
whole other
interesting
ball game, really.
So coming back then to your window cleaning round now, tell us about your quotation process, because you haven't gone out to undercut people, have you?
No.
So tell us about your approach when you give the customer a price.
Well, when I started, obviously I had no idea how do you come up with a price for, to clean the windows. And I watched the video that you did, and you walked around the customer's house and you said, okay, that might be 50p, that might be £1. So what I did originally when I first started, I created a little A5 form, and it had the window type, and then I would just put a line by it, and then and the price, and I would add it up at the end, and then say to the customer, okay, but this is the quote.
Okay.
Whereas now we don't do that. We have just a fixed pricing structure.
Yeah, I mean, generally it's kind of based on time that somebody is going to be at the property, is how we look at it.
Okay.
Although we have kind of changed it over time. It kind of started off as we want to charge the most amount of money that we possibly can for the house, so that we can have less houses and earn more money from less houses. But as things have grown, we've
It was also to do
noticed
a better job.
it was, yes, to be able to spend more time at the property as well. It's definitely don't want to be doing 25 jobs in one day for one person and literally splash and dash and be on to the next one. We wanted to be able to spend time wiping the sills afterwards and making sure that we did a good job, but I don't want to be doing that for £12, you know. So we made sure that we were pricing houses correctly for our time, and that kind of enabled us to spend more time at the property and do a really good job. However, as time has gone on, we have sort of noticed that we need to have more volume, but to do more volume you do need to bring your prices down slightly, but not ridiculous, of course.
So what if a customer says, oh, that's a bit expensive, or that's more than my last window cleaner?
Typically, because it's so, if somebody is telling us that it's more expensive than their last window cleaner, it tends to be, well, what happened to your last window cleaner? You know, why are they not looking after your property anymore? Oh, they didn't show up. How long have they not shown up for? Oh, I haven't seen them for about 6 months. And how much did you pay for your last window cleaner? Well, I used to pay £10. Okay, well, you've got a 4-bedroom detached house, you know, and from that conversation, you can kind of open their eyes and unlock them, and then they sort of start to realise that actually, yeah, it is too cheap. That's why they haven't come back. And yeah, we are charging you more money, but you're going to get a reminder the day before. Okay, you're going to get reliability that we are going to show up. If for any reason we can't show up, you're going to get notified by us. And for the service that they're getting from the reminder service, and I will get out my phone, I'll show them the app that we use, and say, listen, you're on this database, you're timed, so if every 6 weeks we're going to get a notification here, say your clean's due, and then we're going to come and clean your windows. And they're like, oh right, okay, so they can see we're a professional business from that, and I think that definitely gives them confidence to spend what is in their head more money for the service
And justify it.
Yeah, it does justify it, I think.
And it just gives them transparency about who we are, what we do, how we operate, and that we are a professional, reliable company that will do what we say we're going to do.
So there's so much more value in the job that you're doing, isn't there, when you say to the customer, well, you're getting this and this is the service we're providing, and that's why the price is a little bit more than your last window cleaner. And sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, I think you've hit the nail on the head with value. It's building the value in what you're doing to the customer, and that's crucial, and that helps them to then understand why you're charging that price.
So many window cleaners kind of feel like they have to charge a low price to get the job, and then they're cutting corners because they need to get around more work to earn the money they need to, and you need to change the thinking the other way, really, isn't it?
I think it's, as Josh said, it's just having that balance of, providing a high quality clean at an affordable price. It's that balance. It's not taking the mickey with charging too much money, but equally it's not the customer taking the mickey out of us by us charging too less. It's that balance is what's needed to make both parties happy.
So one thing that I like to say with regards to my training as well is that the potential that window cleaners have within their business, you've got all those hundreds of customers, and you can offer them additional services, and they'd love to have you do some of those additional jobs. The potential there to be able to do that, and the scope, you were talking about how you're starting to do that, especially with gutter cleaning, with the autumn just ahead. And
Yeah.
you've tried it before, haven't you? Tell
We
us
did last
how-
year. So we, as Phil mentioned, we bought a round, and that was sort of October last year. And what we decided to do once we'd done I think it was like we did our first clean for all of those customers, and then what we did was we sent out a text message of an automated text message off our system advertising gutter clearances, and I think it was for a fixed price from memory, and we put the fixed price on there for like a 3-bedroom house, for example. And that got a really good response, and at the time we didn't actually really have that many customers on our system. We probably had about roughly 300 customers, 350, something like that, on the database. And it got a really good response, and we've been sort of crunching some numbers this time around, and we're thinking if we can get somewhere around 15% of our current round to take up gutter clearing with us, then that should give us a really nice,
Scary number.
yeah.
If it works.
I suppose I mean, if we're thinking that we can get roughly 850, and that's just regular customers reply to the text message, if we can get 15% of them say, do you know what, we'd love you to come and do our gutters, and then you've got all of your ad hoc ones that come from Facebook or from Google ads. We're hoping that we're going to be able to really smash the gutter clearing this autumn, really. That's kind of our current marketing plan, is to really push gutter clearing, especially with the amount of rain we've had this year. I think people have really noticed their gutters are leaking or overflowing. Like, hopefully we can capitalise on it through the autumn.
Well, I get people get in touch with me and they want to start a pressure washing business, or they want to start a gutter cleaning business, and both of those can be quite seasonal.
Yeah.
And I say to them, have you ever thought about a window cleaning business? Because you'll have that recurring revenue every month. That's great, even if you wanted to do that as your bread and butter while you look for pressure washing jobs, and that would take much longer to build up that regular customer base over years, to have customers coming back
many
to you.
years, especially for pressure washing. Like, if somebody wants their driveway and they get it done once every 2 or 3 years.
So window cleaning is such a great way to build up a business quickly, with that recurring revenue every month, and then it can go from there, really. There's so much potential there.
And the thing is as well, it's less risk for the customer. Like, if you just said, to clean the windows it was £20, if you didn't do a good job, it's not the end of the world. Whereas if they were going to spend £200, £300, £400 with you pressure washing the driveway, a lot of things could go wrong, and there's a bigger risk to the customer. Whereas, like you say, with the window cleaning, from the customer's perspective, if you do a good job, and the next time you go there, they make you a cup of tea, you have a conversation, you build rapport, it then makes it easier for you to have that conversation with them about additional services, but also makes it easier for them to buy from you, because they already know you, they like you, and they trust you.
Exactly.
And that's why we always said window cleaning is the core business. It gives us our guaranteed income every month, and then the add-on services are exactly that. They are add-ons, and we'll capitalise on the good months, and the bad months, guess what, we've still got a good window cleaning round.
Exactly. It's great that you guys have done so well in such a short period of time. And I wish you all the best. Hope things continue to grow. Sounds like they will, from your ambitions and what you've got planned.
I think so. And I think the fact that the good thing that we have is that we have each other to have those conversations and soundboard ideas. And most of the ideas come from me to Josh, and Josh goes, no, that's a bad idea, let's wait. But it's just good that we can both have a conversation about it and then both deliberate on it, or both agree or disagree. And I think having that someone there just to double check something, like it could be, I've gone to quote this job and I've quoted this price, what would you do? And it doesn't need to be in a competition. It's just more of a case of just to sanity check what you've said to the customer, so you've not overpriced or underpriced.
I think on that as well, you don't necessarily, if you are somebody who is a one-man band, you don't necessarily need to have a window cleaning partner that you can have those conversations with. If there's just somebody else that's local that you can build a relationship with, that you can, they don't even have to be in your town, they could be in another area of the country, but if it's just somebody that you can have that conversation with, just to say, I've had this idea, I want to do this for gutter clearing or for window clearing, I want to price it this, just having somebody to talk to and them to come back and say, that's a great idea or not, is a really valuable tool.
And that's great. I feel that I've been a little bit of a part of your story in some way, even though I didn't even know it.
Well, but that's the thing, isn't it?
You know, the videos. And
if you hadn't have done that video, I wouldn't have started. Josh wouldn't have called me.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing about it.
Yeah, and actually, to be fair, when I first started, so I said to you, I first did window cleaning when I left school.
Oh yes.
And I'd done that, honestly, that was like 15 years ago. So when I actually came back to window cleaning a year or two ago, at that age, all I did was roll out of bed, jump into the van, and we were off to clean windows. I didn't know what equipment I was using at the time. So when I actually wanted to start, I had no idea about the equipment. So I was watching your videos on how to use the water-fed pole and seeing the different brands, because I didn't know what the brands were, what the makes, models, brush head types. I knew what the tools were because I'd used them, but I didn't. When I was actually going out to purchase these products for myself, I didn't have a clue about them. So
Well, the irony is, you came to me and I said, well, this is what I bought because Ashley said.
Yeah, exactly that.
Well, that's awesome, and that's something I'm trying to do even more through my training, and I can continue to answer their questions and give support in that way even.
And I think it's really good that you're doing that to help those people.
Thanks.
Because there is a lot, I think, when you probably started window cleaning, you kind of learned as you went along, but there wasn't loads of information out there. So it was kind of easier for you to go, well, I'll do that and I'll try, and that works.
Yeah, there was no YouTube or anything when I started. That's how long ago it was.
Whereas now there's too much information and it can become very overwhelming.
Yeah, that's true.
To anyone can just go and buy sodium hypochlorite, slap it around without needing any training or anything like that. And I think that's why it's good that you can offer that basic information that for when people want to start, the right information to put them on the right track. And I think that's really helpful.
And thanks for coming and sharing your story as well. It's been inspirational to hear your story and well, your relatively short journey so far and how well you've done in that time.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks for sharing it with us.
It's been a good experience.
Oh, it's been good to have you. Oh, I have got one more thing just in here. And I only brought one little goodie bag.
All right. Thank you.
For coming on the podcast, a podcast mug.
Thank you. We'll share it.
We'll share it, yeah.
You'll have it Monday and Tuesday.
So there we go.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. And thanks everyone for listening. Hope you've enjoyed the episode today. And there'll be links in the podcast description. But I'd love to hear from you as well. So please get in touch with me here on the podcast.
Why not get in touch? Follow us on social media at AE Mackintosh or email us ashley@aemackintosh.com. And don't forget to check the links in the podcast description.
So thanks again for joining me. Thanks everybody for listening. And thanks for Josh and Phil for joining me as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Take
for having
care,
us.
guys.
See you later.
Catch up with you again soon on social media.
Yeah, I hope
and all
so.
of that. Did you want to read out your what's your social media links and all of that?
See it clean on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. And so check out their website as well, and you can see the kind of stuff they do. And that's brilliant. Take care. All the best. See you very soon on the next one. Bye for now.